Now that's a good warm-up idle. That's with no miss. That's what it looks like when it's warmed up. So that's good. Sounds good. Today's the day where we put some wood on the truck. So let's see if the truck's ready for this project. Looks like it. Time to get some more inventory for the project. This is going to be a fun nest to harvest in the wintertime. Look at all those yellow jackets. They're either paper wasp or yellow jackets. See how close I can get to them. Those suckers do like to bite. They'll bite you a lot faster than a red wasp will. But yeah, I can't wait to put that in the 65. I've got a really big red wasp nest. So what we're getting right now is this is old fence wood on the bottom side of my elevated deck out here. So it's nice and weathered. So I'm just going to grab all of it off of here because it's getting to the point now to where it's holding moisture against the metal. And it's causing a little bit of premature rusting. And I need to finish this thing off anyway. That'll be another project. And do some housework. You know, there's a lot of work that needs to be done around here. So that'll be in some more videos. But I need to harvest this wood because it is perfectly aged to use in this project. And I'm just going to chunk it off the deck here. So you got to be careful up here because see there's a big hole underneath this bench. You don't want to trip on one of these grapevines and fall. So here's our shorties. So this is our shorty inventory. And we're just going to kind of toss them down right in here and let the tree kind of catch them a little bit. That knocks off the dust too. And now I'm going to get the longer ones and we'll chunk them down here in a second. Public service announcement. Never leave your telescope out in the weather like I did. So we're just going to chunk these off into the trees here. Let them kind of clean off the debris and the dust. I'm going to wash these really good so they're not all dusty when I'm working with them. And the reason why I'm getting all of them now instead of just coming up here one at a time so I can source the straightest ones, the ones I need, everything landed in a nice little pile here. We got good inventory to pick from. So let's get this moved over there and get them washed. So I'm putting these down here with the aged side up, which does make a difference. You can see this is the aged side. That's the side that was facing down. It's got some algae on it. So we're going to give these a little bit of a scrub. So there's our inventory before washing. We're going to need these 2 old batteries for a little bit of weight action so we can stop these boards from warping once I wash them. I could use a pressure washer for this, but I don't want to take all the stuff off there. I just want to clean the dirt and the dust off. So I'm taking that broom, I'm washing them, sweeping them. This is the side I'm going to use on the aesthetic side. This is the good age side, and then I'm going to flip them and wash the other side. And then I'll stack them maybe and put some weight on it to stop them from warping so bad. There we go. So I got, they're stacked 2 wide. I got a 2x12 on top of those, and then I got the shorties on the top with 2 AGM batteries to weight it down. So I'm going to let those dry, and now that they're all clean, boy, I got a lot of dirt off of those. So I'm glad I cleaned those because that stuff would have just been messy to work with. This is what I got so far. Got these hurricane ties, these mounting, and then these 8x1 1/4. Got one 10-foot section just in case. Over here at Parker Lumber, do it best. And let's do this. This is what it's going to look like from the side. Of course, they're not going to be that tall. I forgot to show you this. So there's a reason why I have to involve PVC, because when you pull this up, that PVC is stuck down in there. So it ain't going anywhere. And that's 1-inch PVC. It's really strong. And it'll be all the way around. And of course I'll anchor this down. Already got tie down points right here on the front. And then I'll tie it down in the back as well so the wind can't catch it. So when I take the gas cap off to plug in for power, I need to make something where this thing screws right back on here somewhere where I can hang it. I guess I can put a magnet here. Yeah, that's what I'll do, is I'll have a little magnet embedded in here somehow. And I can just take the cap off from here and just put it right there. So I'm out here, my wood pile, looking for some stuff for the project. So this might look cool for dressing out the headache rack. So we're gonna grab some of this stuff here, and I found some other wood over there that we're gonna use too. So this is a good score. So that's what I ended up with. I got that. I got a couple of, got some more fence stuff. It looks like a 2x6, some more smaller stuff. And then this, whatever this is here, with a 4x4 with stuff screwed onto it. Another thing I love about this solar cart, I'm out there just harvesting wood. It's nice and peaceful. Now we're gonna pull it up here, right next to our project with all of our other harvested wood. Just be careful not to hit anything. But yeah, we got a pretty good score here of old wood that'll match the project. That's the best part about it. So I think we got plenty of building materials now for this project. So let's see what we got now. We got this mocked up right here, and then we got all the stuff we just got from the back of the property here that I need to clean up a little bit if I'm going to use it. And then we got what I cleaned up yesterday that's been stacked so it doesn't warp. I brushed and washed it so it's easy to, doesn't have all the dust on it. So hopefully by the end of the day we'll have a frame on this thing, a headache rack, extended headache rack for the solar panels. We got just earlier from the back side of the property, and that one longer piece of fence wood, and then that, and then a good 2x6. But what's cool about this stuff here is you would think, well, this is just junk wood, right? Well, no. Most people would throw this in the trash, but whenever I'm done with the structural part of this, this can go and be part of the stuff to hide the PVC. So I don't even have to worry about painting the PVC. So this was a good score, and I like the fact that it's got rough edges on it, and I'm going to leave the tacks in there and everything, so it's got rust on it, so it kind of matches the truck. See, I'll have just enough of these little filler pieces to do what I need to do when I'm done with the project, just for aesthetic reasons. And it's that easy. And we're using power from the truck. And the solar panels are recharging the battery. The battery's at 13 volts right now. There's only like 1.5 solar panels in the sun right now. And it's been kind of cloudy today, but it'll be okay. So now I got the 8 uprights done. So this is going to be the overall height of what we're looking at, and it'll be at an angle like that. So we're going to have one there and one back there. And what I like to do with these, when I cut this wood, especially this old fence wood, and see how it's got that little jagged edge? I just come over here, find the rough concrete, I do that right there on both sides. And you can work on the edge like that, just a little bit. You don't want to round it off too much. And then brush off that stuff. and it cleans it up really good. You don't want to do it too much because it brings out the new wood, but that wood will start looking old pretty soon. So that's how I do that. All right, now we need to cut the upright here, PVC. And we'll just test it real quick. That's going to be the overall height right there, give or take an inch or two. And I cut the PVC the exact height to where if I want to run a board this way inside here, or two, which I'll probably run two, it'll sit right on top of that PVC for load bearing, and then I'll just screw that in there, and we'll have our wood going across this way. That way I can keep it on the inside and it looks cooler with this one going straight up. Not that looks are a big deal, but I want it to be structurally sound as well. All right, so I got the rear and the front uprights cut, and I couldn't just cut them the same because there is a little bit of difference. If you look right here, the front upright is about half an inch taller than the one that goes in the middle of the bed. So it's just one of those things where you just got to pay attention. You can't just cut all the stuff at the same time. Okay, let's go exit 3. All right, I'm getting to the point where I already drilled my holes here in the wood. This is a 2-foot section, so that's at 1 foot, that's at 6 inches, and that's at 18. But the biggest problem is now I need to drill into the PVC, and the way I keep it centered is I got these 2 pieces of wood here, and I got this little jig set up here where I put them on the back like that, and I can eyeball on the bottom and the top to make sure the PVC is centered before I start drilling. So I just wanted to show you that before I did it. That's how I set up my jig. And these are the pieces of wood that I found this morning out by the wood pile. I have a whole bunch of these. I say a whole bunch, about 10 or 12. So it works out perfect. So I got the outsides done. And of course you can see the PVC, I got it lined up in the center of the other side. So that's what the outside looks like. And now I got to put the wood on the inside. That's going to be a little bit harder. Got all 4 of the uprights done. That's the most tedious part right there, because you have to have everything, the angle, look how I got the angle matched perfect, where you can line it up so it stays with the contour of the cab. And this one is the same way. So the next thing is we're going to do our horizontals. And that wood matches the truck pretty good. So I got the first 2 horizontals on there. And now I'm figuring out how I'm going to do the other part that supports the solar panels. But the wood matches the truck pretty good. I'm going to put these trim pieces in here to cover up the PVC. That's after the fact, aesthetics. But the way I designed this is I cut the PVC to the height where these boards would sit in there, and it would be just like a tongue and groove type thing where it just sits right on there. And technically I could just put the panels up there and throw the boards up there and everything would work without even putting screws. And that was the whole point. But of course I'm going to secure it. There, I'm recording video now. See if we can get a different angle.
Go up a bit.
Oh, my hand hit his web. Whoops. Sorry, dude. Yeah, he's going to have a feast tonight. That's like steak and potatoes to us. There's the overall structure. Of course, I have some fine-tuning to do, little things like these little uprights here. Cut them down maybe a 1/4 of an inch, because that needs to be tuned a little bit. This one's actually okay, but this is the overall concept, and the solar panels still have to be moved up there. Hopefully I'll have the time to do that tomorrow. I've had a lot of delays, but good ones, because I got to visit with the neighbors for the last 2 days. So I only got to put about 4 hours into this project today at the most, maybe. But I got the overall structure built. Of course you can't see this side. There we go. And it turned out pretty good. I still have these trim pieces to do. I'll show you here. The stakes that they jammed in the ground for the erosion barrier that they built on the property when they were running the gas line. And of course, I didn't throw these away. I ripped them out of the ground whenever they were done. So they're going to mount in here to cover up the PVC. So I'll cut them to length, and these trim pieces will go in here, and it'll look really nice. So you won't see any PVC. And then, of course, you know, I'll add my flare, like, because it's got the skull Halloween theme thing. So I'll have a skull maybe right here. So imagine that skull on each side. That's probably what I'm going to do. One on each side. So when you're looking back here, you'll see the skull. And it'll tie in with the dash of the truck. And I got several sizes, so I'll figure that out later. That'll be the fun part. And I got to put the, I'm probably going to put the 1/32 back in here. And on the outside of where this existing train is, and then the HO will go in the middle where the solar panels. I haven't really decided on the. I really do want to put the 1/32 back in here because it fits in here perfectly. Even though it's kind of a boring layout, I can make the HO layout a lot funner. So that's it. This is what the front looks like. Of course, remember there's going to be the trim pieces inside here, so you won't see the PVC. So I think I'm going to leave the wood hanging over like that. It adds a little extra shade, and I really don't want to cut the edges because it'll show new wood. So I'm going to probably leave it just like that to show the old wood. And you can't really see any new cuts. I hid the new cuts up on the top. The originals are down here, so they're nice and weathered. So they tie in with the truck good. So that's gonna be it. And as far as structurally, I haven't mounted it down to the truck yet. It's the PVC comes down about this far, and then these are screwed onto the PVC. You saw how I did that. And I'm gonna anchor it down on all four corners, but it doesn't really have that much wobble. But I'm gonna probably put some kind of support cable going across each side to support it going left and right. So that's probably something I'm going to have to end up doing. So it won't be that noticeable, but there'll be a cable going from here to down there, and then up there, down there, and then the same thing back here, another cable. So it'll stop it from wobbling back and forth like it's doing just that little bit right there. So that's it. And as far as the back, I got the angle perfectly aligned with the cab. You can't see it. Let me show you here. Maybe you can see the shadow, the light coming through the sun. So that angle lines up with the cab there, and this one as well. You can see I got the angle lined up with the cab there. So it's got the same angles as the cab. I think it turned out pretty good for you know, a quick project. I only probably spent 4 hours on it. So there you go. That's what I've been doing today. And there's the top. I don't know if you can see the top. So after I'm done with the work at the radio station tonight, I might come out here and put LEDs temporarily and figure out how I'm going to do the lighting for nighttime if I do a nighttime hangout with the truck. So it definitely needs lighting, but that's going to be the fun part, to do all that. But yeah, really front to back, it doesn't sway that much at all, but it would. Of course, nothing's screwed down. It's just sitting up there. This is just sitting in there. These are not even screwed down. So once I get things screwed down and get the cables run and get this brace back here, it's going to be a lot more stable. But I'm going to go ahead and put the solar panels on there tomorrow once I get everything stabilized. Alright, this is the time of the video where we do some ripping and reading and messing up people's chat names and dyslexia of the comments. So let's see what we got here. So a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago, Ride Along Gang posted, "Very good video, FryTv now. Thanks for sharing." Everybody check out Ride Along Gang. Big shout out to Ride Along Gang. He's a trucker that's delivering food to everybody, and just getting chats all the time. Yeah, so he's always cruising around the world. I think yesterday he did 400 something miles, and today he had 500 miles to ship stuff. So big shout out to Ride Along Gang. Go check out his channel, and eventually I'll get all this stuff put in the description. I'm just so busy right now. So Loud Red said, great addition to the town. Yeah, the ice maker. It's definitely a great addition, and it's right down the road. That's the cool part. KCA TV, that's my dad, says a new version of the stage play, The Iceman Cometh, that ends happily. Cheers. So is that a movie? I'm gonna have to check it out, or is that just a play? So I'm gonna have to check that out. All right, and then Jess Olson, the ice shit is so cool, like ice cold cool. Haha. So I'm learning every day from your videos. Keep it up. Cool. So yeah, I want to do a better review of the. I was just kind of really busy that day, but I want to do a more in-depth. I want to catch the footage of like where he's standing, like right now, when it moves, whenever somebody gets ice. So I want to kind of do that and do more detailed of how the ice gets put in the bags and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to do a part 2 of this ice review there. I think it would be pretty cool to get a little bit more detailed. All right, and as you can see, today was the day where I've had a lot of delays working on the 65. The neighbors are building a new house and moving out of town, so I've been kind of talking to them a lot, and we've been visiting a lot. So, but today I had about 4 hours to work on the 65, and I, as you can see, made a platform to elevate the solar panels to get them out of the way so I can start on the layout. And of course I have a lot of tuning and testing to do and trimming, but it's going to work out pretty good. And I got to, of course, make it to where it doesn't wobble left and right, but I'm going to do that with some little cabling action. But that's all easy stuff. That was one of the type of projects that I did today that I usually design things in my head from 0 to 100%. And this one, I kind of designed half of it in my head, and the rest of it evolved as I went, as I was building it. I knew how I was going to design the uprights in my head, but I didn't know how I was going to build the rest of it out. But it just kind of evolved perfectly. So it was a fun project, and I got to use weathered wood, that fencing wood, and I think it turned out pretty good, and it blends in with the truck fairly well. And the best part about it is I did not drill a single hole in the truck. So far, with putting everything on the truck, the track and everything, and the platform up there for the solar panels, 0 holes have been drilled into that truck. Since I've been working on it, I don't remember drilling a hole in that truck ever. Maybe under the dash to mount a switch where you can't see it, probably. But that was it, But so far, I think I've had that truck for almost 15, 20 years now, and haven't drilled a single hole in that truck except maybe under the dash for a switch. And that's kind of the goal, And the whole thing about the wood and the track, that stuff's all temporary. I could literally take that out if I had to, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, the whole thing, if I needed to take it off the truck. So that's the coolest part. Love you all. We'll do this again tomorrow, and tomorrow's video is probably going to be showing the layout. My goal is to get maybe the 132nd track back in there, the train, and the HO track all in there. That's the goal. So I am not sure if I'm putting the 132nd back in there. I'll just have to see. But the train is definitely staying, and I really want to get the HO track in there. So we'll do it again tomorrow. Love you. Please leave comments. I do read them. And share this on your social media and help me grow the channel. Love you all.